The morning bell sang its familiar song, echoing through the hallways and signaling the start of another day at Southern Elementary. Children, bright-eyed and chattering, rushed into Southern Elementary, their laughter and excitement filling the air. The schoolyard was a symphony of youthful energy, a place where friendships blossomed and imaginations soared. Mr. Thompson, the school janitor, greeted each with a warm smile. His presence was a constant, reassuring the children as they began their day. He knew each child by name, and his kind words were a source of comfort. He was a fixture, a grandfatherly figure everyone adored. His gentle demeanor and caring nature made him a beloved part of the school community. The children looked up to him, and he treated each one with the same kindness and respect. Parents trusted him. Kids felt safe around him. He was more than just a janitor. He was a guardian, a friend, and a mentor. His dedication to the school and its students was evident in everything he did. Mr. Thompson was Southern Elementary. His hard work and unwavering commitment were the backbone of the school's daily operations. He took pride in his work, ensuring that the school was always clean and welcoming. Days melted into weeks, the routine comforting in its repetition. The children thrived in the stability that Mr. Thompson helped maintain. The classrooms buzzed with learning and the playgrounds echoed with joy. Mr. Thompson was always there, cleaning spills, fixing broken toys, a silent guardian of their haven. His presence was a constant reminder that someone cared deeply about their well-being. But beneath the surface, a darkness simmered. Unseen by the children, there were moments when Mr. Thompson's smile faded, replaced by a look of deep concern. He carried a burden that he kept hidden from the innocent eyes around him. An unsettling feeling began to creep into the edges of normalcy. Something wasn't right. The children sensed it too, their playful chatter occasionally giving way to whispers of unease. The once comforting routine now felt fragile, as if something unseen was threatening to disrupt their world. A group of mothers huddled together, their faces etched with concern. They spoke in hushed tones about Mr. Thompson. His demeanor, once affable, now seemed strained. His eyes, once twinkling, now held a disconcerting intensity. A chilling unease settled upon them. Their children, too, had noticed a change. They whispered about Mr. Thompson's unusual interest in their conversations, the way his eyes lingered a little too long. The adults dismissed it as overactive imaginations, yet a seed of doubt had been planted. Fear, once a stranger, now lurked in the shadows. One afternoon, Mrs. Davies, a concerned mother, noticed something peculiar while discarding her daughter's lunchbox. A flash of pink caught her eye. A child's underwear discarded carelessly in Mr. Thompson's overflowing bin. Her heart pounded in her chest. This was no innocent mistake. Panic welled up inside her. She couldn't ignore this. She confided in the other mothers. They were horrified, their worst fears confirmed. The evidence was irrefutable. Mr. Thompson, their trusted janitor, was a monster hiding in plain sight. The mothers, united by fear and a fierce determination to protect their children, decided to take matters into their own hands. They had heard the whispers, the rumors that something was terribly wrong. The school administration had dismissed their concerns, but the mothers knew they couldn't ignore the signs any longer. They formed a pact, vowing to uncover the truth no matter the cost. They waited until the school was empty, their hearts pounding with a mixture of dread and resolve. The hallways, usually filled with the laughter and chatter of children, were eerily silent. Every creak of the floorboards, every distant sound, made them jump. They knew they were about to step into the unknown, but their resolve was unshakable. They used a spare key to enter Mr. Thompson's dimly lit office. The room was shrouded in shadows, the only light coming from a small desk lamp. The air was thick with tension as they cautiously stepped inside, their eyes scanning every corner for signs of the hidden truth. The stench of stale cigarettes and something sickeningly sweet hit their noses. It was a smell that spoke of secrets and decay, of things hidden away from the light of day. The women exchanged uneasy glances, their determination mingling with a growing sense of dread. The room was a den of depravity. Papers were strewn across the floor, and the walls were lined with shelves filled with odd trinkets and unsettling memorabilia. It was clear that this was no ordinary office. It was a place where dark deeds had been planned and executed. Drawers overflowed with children's clothing, photographs, and disturbing drawings. Each item they uncovered told a story of innocence lost, of lives forever changed by the actions of a man they had once trusted. The mothers felt a surge of anger and sorrow, their mission now more urgent than ever. The evidence was overwhelming, each piece a punch to their gut. They found letters, diaries, and other personal items that painted a horrifying picture of Mr. Thompson's true nature. The weight of their discovery pressed down on them, but they knew they had to keep going. Mr. Thompson's true nature stood exposed, a predator lurking beneath a kind facade. The man who had seemed so friendly and trustworthy was, in reality, a monster hiding in plain sight. The mothers knew that their fight was far from over, but they had taken the first crucial step in bringing him to justice. The next morning, the idyllic facade of Southern Elementary shattered. Police cars, sirens blaring, swarmed the school. News of Mr. Thompson's arrest spread like wildfire through the community. Parents wept, their faces etched with a mixture of relief and horror. The weight of betrayal hung heavy in the air. How could they have been so blind? The man they entrusted their children with was a monster who had violated their trust in the most heinous way. The community reeled, struggling to comprehend the enormity of the betrayal. Justice served, innocence scarred. The trial was swift and brutal. Overwhelming evidence, coupled with testimonies from several brave children, painted a horrifying picture of Mr. Thompson's crimes. He was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to life in prison. Justice, though served, felt hollow. The scars of his betrayal ran deep. The children, once carefree and trusting, were now withdrawn and fearful. Their innocence had been stolen, replaced by a darkness they would carry with them forever. The community, once a beacon of safety, was now haunted by the specter of Mr. Thompson's crimes. Picking up the pieces, in the wake of the tragedy, the community of Southern Elementary began the arduous task of healing. Support groups were formed, therapy sessions scheduled, parents grappled with guilt and anger, their world turned upside down. The children, their innocence shattered, faced an uncertain future. The school underwent a complete overhaul. Security measures were heightened. Staff underwent rigorous background checks. Every effort was made to ensure that such a horrific event would never happen again. But the scars remained, a constant reminder of the darkness that had invaded their sanctuary. The unseen scars. Years passed, but the events at Southern Elementary continued to cast a long shadow. The children, now teenagers, carried the weight of Mr. Thompson's actions. Some struggled with trust, others battled with anger and resentment. The trauma manifested in different ways, a constant reminder of their stolen innocence. The community, too, bore the invisible scars. Parents became overprotective, suspicious of strangers. The once unwavering trust in authority figures had been irrevocably broken. The events at Southern Elementary had forever changed the fabric of their lives. Moving forward, never forgetting. This is the mantra that echoes through the hearts of those who live through the unimaginable. The past, with all its pain and sorrow, is a part of their story, but it does not define their future. They carry the memories, the lessons, and the strength gained from their experiences as they step into a new chapter of their lives. Southern Elementary, once a symbol of safety and innocence, now stood as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface. The empty halls and silent playgrounds tell a story of a community that was blindsided by betrayal. The stormy skies above seem to mirror the turmoil that once gripped the hearts of the residents. Yet, within this desolation, there is a glimmer of hope, a promise of renewal. The community, forever marked by Mr. Thompson's crimes, vowed to never forget the lessons learned. They gathered in town halls, held vigils, and engaged in serious conversations about the future. The solemn expressions on their faces reflected a collective resolve to ensure that such darkness would never again take root in their midst. They understood that remembrance was not just about looking back, but about forging a path forward with wisdom and vigilance. They emerged from the ashes, stronger and more united. The bonds forged in the crucible of tragedy became the foundation for a resilient community. Embracing one another, they found strength in solidarity. Together they rebuilt not just structures, but the very fabric of their community. The new community center stood as a testament to their collective will to rise above adversity and create a safe haven for future generations. They channeled their pain into advocacy, working tirelessly to raise awareness about child abuse and ensure that no other community would have to endure the horrors they faced. Volunteers distributed flyers, organized rallies, and formed support groups. Their efforts were driven by a deep-seated commitment to protect the vulnerable and to educate others about the signs and dangers of abuse. Their voices, once silenced by fear, now rang out with a powerful message of hope and prevention. And though the scars remained, they were determined to move forward, their resilience a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Hand in hand they walked towards a future filled with promise. The act of planting a tree symbolized new beginnings, growth, and the unwavering belief that from the darkest times, light can emerge. Their journey was not just about healing, but about transforming their pain into a beacon of strength for others to follow.